Welcome dear viewers to the video on dissolution studies and data deficiencies. As we know, dissolution studies are very much important, and these are the studies which can predict the in vivo behavior of the formulation and also the product quality. Dissolution studies are performed in all stages of the product life cycle, and if there are some dissolution deficiencies, dissolution study requirement or insufficient data in the product filing, then regulatory agencies raise the query regarding the dissolution testing and the required data. This video is for the same topic, and let's see how much studies are to be done and what type of queries, what type of deficiencies are raised by the regulatory agencies. So if typically we are talking regarding the ANDA, then if there is inadequate dissolution data, inadequate in vitro studies, then the US FDA can refuse to receive the ANDA. Also, many other authorities, after filing, ask the information and raise the queries regarding dissolution. So, what is the importance of dissolution? First of all, dissolution testing is a in vitro test to predict the in vivo behavior of the formulation. It is a product specific test. It is a requirement to release the batch into the market, and also this test gives you understanding and it gives you the required information how the product will behave in the in vivo. So directly the dissolution testing is related to the safety and efficacy of the formulation. Now see the importance of comparative dissolution data. Regulatory authorities ask to the generic manufacturers regarding the comparative dissolution testing and comparative dissolution data along with the reference formulation. Regulatory authorities require appropriate dissolution comparison data between the test formulation and the reference formulation. For US market, it is called as RLD. Also, the dissolution comparison is to be done in multimedia, and the dissolution testing is required to be performed on all the strengths of the formulation. Failure to conduct the necessary dissolution studies or omission of the supplemental studies may result in refuse to receive, that is RTR status for the ANDA. Because if there is no sufficient data, then the authority refuse to take that application for the review. The FDA provides specific dissolution study recommendations for RLD and the test products, including waivers for the in vivo bioequivalence studies under certain conditions. If you go to the product specific guidelines, you can know about these study requirements. So key dissolution studies for BE assessment. First of all, we need to understand the dissolution studies required for the bioequivalence assessment. It is for the lower strength. It is also related to the DCS biowaiver. It is related to the biowaiver for the non-BE RLDs, non-BE test formulation, and sometimes it is also for the in vitro dissolution study requirements. First point I have taken here is the alcohol dose dumping studies. Mainly it is done for the modified release formulations, and it evaluates the impact of alcohol on the drug release for MR formulations, modified release formulations, and some of the delayed release formulations. It is done to ensure product safety and prevents unintended dose escalation when taken with alcohol, because if the modified release design is changed, or if it is decreased, or it is disturbed, because of the alcohol, then sudden drug will be released, and that release may be more than the required or more than the actual release of the formulation, which may lead to toxicities. Also, the dose dumping due to alcohol may lead to failure of the treatment. Sometimes dose dumping may lead to toxic effects. Then second is the requirement for alcohol dose dumping studies as per the guidelines. If data is not generated and submitted, then there may be the refuse to receive status for the ANDA. Half tablet dissolution studies. So split tablets are required to be tested for the dissolution. It is required for the modified release products with functional score marks. Also for the immediate release formulations with the score marks. It must be performed for each strength of the test and the RLD in the recommended dissolution media. So presently the specific recommendation is not there for the half tablet dissolution studies, but based on to the QC media, the dissolution studies are performed. Also for the MR products and IR products, depending on to the formulation, the agency may ask you to perform half tablet dissolution studies in the multimedia also. Alcohol dose dumping studies are generally not required for the half tablet dissolution studies. If the formulation is quoted and there is no score line, then the half tablet dissolution studies will not come into the requirement. Other product specific dissolution studies, these includes additional comparative dissolution test outlined in the FDA's BE recommendation, that is product specific guidelines or product specific recommendations for the BE studies. Dissolution methods may be referenced from the FDA guidelines for the specific drug products. Regulatory compliance and the considerations. ANDA approval considerations include ensuring complete and scientifically justified dissolution data is included, aligning the dissolution methods with FDA guidance and the product specific recommendations, addressing potential in vivo bioequivalence the waiver requirements. So how to avoid the refuse to receive and how to avoid RTR issues. Conducting all necessary dissolution studies for each dosage strength, providing robust comparative dissolution profiles between the test product and the reference product. Conduct dissolution on all the RLD strengths and all the test formulation strengths. Ensuring dissolution methodologies are consistent with the regulatory expectations. So, by ensuring the comprehensive in vitro dissolution testing, pharmaceutical companies can improve the ANDA quality, strengthen the ANDA submission, and can avoid the RTR. As the dissolution studies are related to the safety and efficacy of the formulation, the regulatory authorities are very much stringent onto the dissolution requirements. Many of the times, though the dissolution data is submitted, the agency may ask you to generate more data or to tighten the dissolution specifications. So whenever filing the formulation, you should know all the dissolution requirements. I hope this video will give you some information regarding the dissolution study requirement, data deficiencies, and the agency's expectations and regulatory requirements for the dissolution. Thank you for watching the video.